Tonight, from prank to pure tragedy, the UK nurse at the centre of a Sydney radio hoax found dead. Hosts in hiding as they face global backlash and sponsors abandon their station.
It's fair to say they're completely shattered.
Also, pre-Christmas carnage claims 10 lives in 2 crashes. The police plea to stop the bloodshed. And the healthy changes set to alter the look of labels and possibly waistlines.
This is 10 News at 5 with Natarsha Belling.
Good evening. First tonight, what started off as a prank phone call to the Duchess of Cambridge's hospital by 2 Australian radio hosts has taken a tragic and extremely sad turn. The nurse at the King Edward VII Hospital who took the call from the Today FM presenters has been found dead. We'll get the latest from 10's Melinda Nusafora, who's at Today FM in Sydney shortly. But first, let's cross to 10's Europe correspondent Brett Mason in London for the latest. Brett, no one could have foreseen this.
Well, Tash, it may have been a childish prank with no spite or malice intended. However, there is a deep sadness and anger here in the United Kingdom.
There's still more to this story to come, Tash.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mel. And anyone seeking support should visit beyondblue.org or call Lifeline on 131114. Now to tonight's other news, and post-game celebrations have turned ugly at an A-League soccer match in Adelaide. Police were forced to break up the heated clash between Adelaide United and Melbourne Victory supporters, as Alice Montfrey reports. As hundreds grieve for slaying New South Wales Police Officer Bryson Anderson, it's been revealed he'd been helping the community right up until the day he died. Just 24 hours before his alleged murder, the Detective Inspector had organised and participated in a torch relay for the Special Olympians. The father of 3 was knifed in the neck after a siege in Sydney southwest on Thursday. Still to come tonight, a deadly night on our roads. 10 killed in crashes across 2 states. Plus, plans for a second Gallipoli dawn service so more Australians can honour our diggers. Also, stamping out drunken stupidity, hundreds arrested in a nationwide blitz. And do any of these things belong to you? The search to find the owners of these stolen goods. Ten people have died in 2 separate car crashes in 2 states. 5 were killed in Victoria when a woman drove the wrong way down a freeway, while in Queensland, a broken down car led to the deaths of another 5 people. Joining us now for an update on all the latest weather details is Reuben Mourad. And Reuben, gosh, it's been a scorching start to the weekend, especially in Victoria.
Yeah, we've seen some unbelievable conditions right across that part of the country. Temperatures well over the average for this time of year. And as we speak, we've got that southwesterly change making its way through Victoria. Concerns lie for the winds with this change. In fact, for Melbourne, we could see gusts around the Bayside area of around 90 kilometres an hour overnight into tomorrow. Now, the change itself isn't really bringing too much actual rainfall. It's more of a windy change, but it is bringing some cool relief after a very, very hot day right across parts of southeastern Australia and specifically Melbourne, which saw temperatures well over the average for this time of year. Things are going to be cooler for southern Australia for the end of the weekend, but as I said before, we could see a few more thunderstorms. All the latest forecast details, Tash, coming up at 5 to 6.
Thanks, Reuben. We'll see you then. Well, coming up next, a frightening reminder for Japan as the northeast coast trembles. Plus, handle with care, Christmas served up on a plate in Belgium. And in sport, Shane Warne's tumultuous week continues as the Big Bash lives up to its name. And a huge win for the Socceroos. We'll tell you what it means for them a little later. Checking tonight's headlines now, and 10 people have died in 2 separate crashes in a horrific night on the roads in Queensland and Victoria. Police are warning drivers to take extra care during the busy holiday season. Soccer fans have clashed with police in fiery scenes in the streets of Adelaide after a match between Adelaide United and Melbourne Victory. 2 people were arrested. And the death of a nurse at the centre of a Sydney radio prank has shocked and saddened people right around the world. The Australian hosts who made the hoax call are reportedly devastated. We'll cross back now to our reporter Melinda Nusafora for more on the shocking fallout from this radio prank with the death of nurse Jacinta Saldana. Mel, you're outside the Today FM studios in Sydney. Now, this tragedy, of course, is being felt right around the world.
Tash, it's not surprising that there has been just a huge outpouring of grief and anger directed squarely to the Today FM hosts.
Well, sport is coming up next with Adam Hawse. And Adam, this is quite a surprise. The great Shane Warne, he says sorry.
I don't think it's ever happened before, Tash, but he really had to, because Warne has produced one of his worst ever performances. We'll show you how it all went horribly wrong for Shane next. Also, we have all the latest from the Australian Open, and while he didn't have the best of days, Marcus Fraser still managed to produce this monster part. Later taunts the perennial bridesmaid, Joel Parkinson.
The reality is Joel's trying to win his first world title, and he's going to have a lot of pressure on him.
And what has got these soccer fans all fired up? Stick around, sports next. Good evening. John Seddon has surged into the outright lead of the Australian Open after a back nine blitz at a windy lake circuit. Overnight leader Marcus Fraser tumbled down the board while Englishman Justin Rose dropped 2 shots late in his round. Adam Scott again failed to make up any significant ground. Victoria Murphy reports.
5 shots off the pace heading into day 3, and Adam Scott went straight to work.
Play of the day, and if you're after bang for your buck at a soccer game, look no further than the Belgian Pro League. Firstly, there were some great goals. But then there was drama with the fans of the losing team blowing up, ripping up chairs and lighting flares inside the stadium. Once these hotheads were kicked out, we got back to the action, and this goal capped off a thumping 6-1 win for the Standard Liège team, who also win our play of the day and, of course, celebrated with a cuddle. As you do, Tash.
As you do. Thank you very much, Adam. Well, stay with us. The weather details with Reuben are coming up right after this break.
Well, it certainly has been an incredible start to the weekend, with the stifling heat being experienced right across southern Australia. For South Australia, that cool change brought some relief today, with temperatures slightly cooler than what they were yesterday and last night. And more recently, throughout parts of Victoria, we've seen that change drop temperatures down by as much as 15 degrees for Melbourne in just half an hour. It certainly has been an incredible afternoon, after temperatures today for the city hit 37 degrees, 13 above the average. Add to that the thunderstorms that we're currently seeing across parts of northeastern New South Wales, and we'll see more of them once again for tomorrow. In fact, this is what we're expecting tomorrow. You'll see a trough line here pushing all the way from northern parts of the country through Queensland and then across into northeastern New South Wales. So for southeast Queensland, northeastern New South Wales, again, we've got a chance of seeing a couple more thunderstorms for tomorrow. This area of high pressure is keeping things relatively quiet across southern Australia. The good news here is that we've got these southerly winds for Victoria, which will certainly be a little bit of relief after a very, very hot day today, and some cooler conditions are forecast again for tomorrow. Now, in terms of the rainfall, we're not expecting too much out of this change. In fact, we've got those gusty winds at the moment across southern parts of Victoria, but they're not really bringing too much in terms of actual rainfall. Most of the activity will be down again across this area here, southeast Queensland and northeastern New South Wales, where we'll see a couple of showers and thunderstorms. So for Brisbane, we could see some showers, 28 degrees, but I actually think we'll see most of the stormy weather just west and south of the city. Dry skies right down the coast, a couple of showers and thunderstorms further inland, as you can see there. For New South Wales, most of the activity again will be across that northeastern corner, but we could see some thunderstorms all the way south of around Sydney, and also for Nowra. Further inland, Dubbo and Orange too will be looking a little bit severe with the potential for some thunderstorms during the afternoon. Now throughout Victoria, it's looking a lot cooler today. Take a look at the temperatures. A significant drop down in the mercury with some grey skies about. We're not expecting too much actual rainfall across Victoria and for Tasmania. It will be a little bit grey and cloudy, but temperatures will be certainly a lot milder there. For South Australia, sunshine, clear skies. In fact, right across most of the state, very dry conditions under that area of high pressure. And for Western Australia and the Northern Territory, Central Australia is seeing another warm one. Storms continue again for the north, but for the next few days, as I said before, we could see a couple of showers and the potential for some thunderstorms as we move into the afternoon, but we've got a greater chance of seeing them west and south of the city. So, Tasha, it certainly has been a very interesting start to the weekend. A couple more thunderstorms are on the way.
OK, thank you, Reuben. Well, it's that time of year, but here's proof that anyone can make a real difference and share the Christmas spirit, all for a wonderful cause. Some 75,000 LED lights make up this amazing public display in Sydney's north. Approved to hit with little ones, but looking rather than touching was a new lesson. The festive show is aimed at raising money for sick children. Organisers are hoping to top last year's total of $8,000. Fantastic effort. And that's 10 News for this Saturday evening. I'm Natarsha Belling. Thanks so much for your company. Good night.